video. So today I'm going to be doing a recommendations video. So seeing as tomorrow is actually Valentine's Day, I thought I'd spread the love with recommending some of my favorite underhyped books. So these are books that I think just don't get enough love and really need to be picked up more because they're great. So let's get right into them. I have separated them into different categories or genres. So I'll leave timestamps below if you want to check out a particular genre. So first off, I'm going to talk about fantasy. So for fantasy books, first off, I am going to recommend the Sign series by Jasmine Angel. And I've talked about these books before on my channel. I have a review for all 3 books. I'll leave a link in the description below for any reviews I have for any of these books that I talk about. But like I said, I've reviewed all 3 of these books. I love them. This is a mermaid series, so if any of you guys are fans of mermaid books or love mermaids, definitely check this one out. I think it's way underrated and so good. The next series I'm going to be recommending is The School for Good and Evil by Simone Shanani. But there are 4 books right now, I believe, in this series. It was originally a trilogy, and then I think he wrote a 4th book, and I don't know if there's going to be any more. I've read the first 3. I really enjoyed the series. And this one is about 2 girls named Sophie and Agatha who are taken to the school for good and evil. So Sophie gets taken to the school for evil, Agatha to the school for good. Of course, Sophie believes there's been a horrible mix-up and that she is meant to be in the school for good. Agatha doesn't want to be there at all. She just wants to find a way to get back home. And this is a middle grade series, but so good. Haven't heard much about it on BookTube. A little bit here and there, but definitely an underrated series, I think. Next up for fantasy is the Poison Study series. Again, another one that I love, which I think is really underrated. I read these books last year. I read the first 3. And this is about a girl named Yelena who is supposed to be executed at the beginning of this book for a murder that she committed. But instead she's given the option to become the commander's taste tester. So basically she has to taste this food, make sure no one poisoned it, tried to poison it or anything. So of course this position is very, very dangerous, but it's better than being executed. So she takes the position as the commander's taste tester. And from there, a lot of stuff happens. This is another really great series. I love the first book, and it's definitely one to check out if you haven't already. And the next one is A Wicked Thing duology by Rhiannon Thomas. And this is a retelling of Sleeping Beauty. So I really enjoyed this one. This one is set 100 years after Sleeping Beauty Aurora falls under the curse. She's finally awoken 100 years later, and things are much, much different. So I really like this take of Sleeping Beauty, and I definitely recommend this one. Plus, it has one of my favorite tropes, which is the hate to love trope. So if you like that trope, check this one out. It's definitely another underrated series. And then the last two books in this category, I actually wasn't sure if I should put it in this category or not. It's kind of urban fantasy, because it does have some magical elements to it, but it reads very much like um, a contemporary romance. So, I don't know, you could probably put it in contemporary romance, because that's kind of how it reads, but there are some magical elements, so I kind of put it in urban fantasy. But anyway, that is Juliet Immortal and Romeo Redeemed by Stacey J. This is a modern retelling of Romeo and Juliet, but with a twist. I really love this series, and Romeo Redeemed has that same trope that I told you I love, hate to love trope. So that is in Romeo Redeemed as well, which I just loved, which is surprising because I did not like Romeo's character at all in the first book, in Juliet Immortal. So I thought I would hate reading a book with just him in the second one, but I actually loved him in the second one, and I loved the story, and so definitely one to check out. It's really good. Next up, I have one book under this category, which is Post-Apocalyptic, and that is Poison Princess by Kresley Cole. The whole Arcana Chronicles series, I would definitely recommend. I love this series. Each book leaves you on such a huge cliffhanger, and you have to continue. It's like, I need to know what's going to happen. That's a huge cliffhanger. And so I love these books. And they're based off of tarot cards, and each character in the series is representative of a tarot card. And it's basically like, I've always described this series as a supernatural Hunger Games, because they're fighting to the death, and they've all got powers, so basically supernatural Hunger Games. So if you love Hunger Games and you want something with a supernatural twist, Arcana Chronicles, perfect series. So the next book I'm going to talk about is another one that is the only one in this category as well, and that is Christian fiction. And for this, I have Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers. This is based on the book of Hosea in the Bible. I really love this story. It's really sad and tragic. Our main character, her background and what she's gone through is really sad and tragic. So just be warned, if you read this one, bring a box of Kleenex and be ready to cry. The next category that I have is Dystopian. So for this one, I've got the Book of Ivy duology by Amy Engel. And this is another one that I absolutely love. I think I have a review for this one as well, which I will link down below. But in this one, there was a war that broke out years earlier, and now to maintain the peace between these two groups, the daughters of the losing side have to marry the sons of the winning side. And Ivy is set to marry the president's son, but she has a different mission. She's going in with the intent to kill him. So, yeah, this is a really interesting duology. I really enjoyed it. I love the characters, and definitely another underhyped book. The next one, also under Dystopian, is Uninvited by Sophie Jordan. This is another duology. I actually loved the first book, but I didn't like the second one that much. So, I don't know if you want to continue with the second one, but I did really enjoy the first one. And in this one, scientists have discovered there is a gene, a kill gene, which they can predict if anyone has that gene, they will become a killer at some point in their life. And so our main character, Davy, discovers that she has that gene, and she ends up having to go to this special school with others like her, and her whole world gets turned upside down. And so I really enjoyed this one. It really makes you think about the whole self-fulfilling prophecy and how, like, sometimes the things that we say or tell people is what actually happens. Because you look at it, and Davy's character, she's a musical prodigy. She's a good girl in school, has good grades, and you would never think she would be the type of person to become a killer. And so it really explores that whole, did they become that way because of the gene, or is it because we told them that they're killers and they become that way? So this series kind of explores that question, and I really enjoyed the first one, like I said. Second one, not so much, but I loved the first one. And the last category that I'll go over is horror. So for this one, I have Mary the Summoning and Mary Unleashed by Hilary Monahan. And this is a duology. It's a retelling of the Bloody Mary story. This one I read last year in the fall. It is super creepy, really gory. This is perfect if you love horror books. This is a great horror one. The next one in this category is The Dead House by Don Kurtagich. And this is another really interesting horror one. And it really dives into mental illness as well. And so, of course, we have an unreliable narrator. And it's told through diary entries and transcripts. And I really enjoyed this one. And I'll kind of read you the synopsis of this one, because I think it explains it better than I can. But it says, 25 years ago, Umbridge High burned down. 3 people were killed, and 1 pupil, Carly Johnson, disappeared. Now a diary has been found in the ruins of the school. The diary belongs to Caitlin Johnson, Carly's identical twin sister. But Carly didn't have a twin. Reopened, police records, psychiatric reports, transcripts of video footage, and fragments of diary reveal a web of deceit and intrigue, violence and murder, raising a whole lot more questions than it answers. Who was Caitlin, and why did she only appear at night? Did she really exist, or was she a figment of a disturbed mind? What were the illicit rituals taking place at the school? And just what did happen at Umbridge in the events leading up to the Johnson incident? So, this one, like I said, unreliable narrator and told in different formats. I think this is another great one for horror. It's not, this one I wouldn't say is scary. It's not scary in the sense of horror, like, makes you scared. Most horror books don't scare me, really. So this is not scary in any sense, but there's a lot of creepy elements to it. So this is another one that I don't hear too much about, but it's a great one if you're really into horror books. So that's it. Those are my recommendations for underhyped books that I think need a lot more love. Let me know in the comments below which one of these sounds the most interesting to you, or if you've read any of them, what your thoughts were, and let me know which one you might be interested in reading next. So that's it for this video, and I will see you guys soon with another one. Bye!